What's happening, everybody, and welcome to this special interview with comedian Godfrey here at AfroComicCon Virtual 2020, man. We are grateful that you are joining us with this. Now, listen, please consider donating to the AFCC Moonshot Junior program that funds young girls of color to go through a 12-month program where they will learn tech skills, innovation, product development, and entrepreneurship. Please click on the donation info below, and more information is available on the website, all right? So let me give you guys a little backstory about me real quick for y'all. Like, who is this black dude with all this nerdy stuff behind him? Yo, I'm a nerd, y'all get it. It is what it is. It's Comic-Con, that's what I'm here. But stand-up comedian, actor, professional wrestler, internet host, podcast host, event host, a dad, a bouncer, and don't get paid for a lot of this. That's all who I am. But nonetheless, I am happy to be doing this, man, because they say you got to give people their flowers while they're here. And this brother definitely deserves that for all the work he's done throughout the years. He's from my hometown, so he already got a spot at the crib. We're in the heart. We hung out a couple times at the Improv out here in Los Angeles. But I want y'all to give it up for comedian Godfrey, y'all. What's happening?
Yo, what up, Big J? What up?
Man, you know, can't call it just out here bored. It's like bored. You know? Man, you already know ain't nothing to do out here in LA, man.
I know. I was just there for like 2 weeks, and it was basically Fat Sal's and IHOP, and it was whatever could stay open. And Crave. Shout out to Crave.
Oh yeah, Crave out here in Studio City.
That's great. I love both of them. They got it. That's a great place.
I went to Fat Sal's twice. I've lived out here now 5 years, right? Since I moved from Chicago. Yeah. I've gone to Fat Sal's twice. Only because I was like, my soul don't need that temptation on a regular.
Yeah, like I got fat, man. I went to Fat Sal's about 3-4 times with my friend, and I had that graham cracker shake. Oh, mother.
See, bro, that just sounds dangerous to your soul, man.
It is unbelievable. So I give shout out to Fat Sal's. That's a great place. So that's basically what it is. It's in every city. I'm in DC right now, but it's all about trying to find a place to eat and walk around and
I was going home.
Wear your mask and wonder what the next phase is going to be.
Dude, I was going home and like for the past couple months, I go home for a couple of days. So it's like, well, I can go to Chicago. I can hang with some of the fam, some of the friends.
Of course.
And then it was like, why are you coming here? What are you going to do different here? I was like, be around people. Okay.
Yeah. I just want to be around life. I just want to see a crowd of people. You get so desperate, you end up at Bar Louie. You know, you be like, let's go to Bar Louie's. Like,
bro, you know how desperate you got to be to end up at
Buffalo Wild Wings is open. Hey, those places stay open. And I was just in Chicago too. Shout out to the Chicago Improv in Schaumburg, Tony and Stephanie out there. That I had some great shows. COVID safe. Half capacity. They got plexiglass on each row. You got your own mic. First of all, the mic thing should have always been that way.
That should have always, as like we comics, we notice like sometimes you get a mic out to somebody, you like, oh,
yeah. It's going up people's asses and in the noses and the ears, and they spitting on it. Yo, come on, man. We should have been on that. I am staying that way from now on. I'm having my own microphone.
It's a smart investment.
Yeah,
like I think one of the things real quick nobody talks about through the pandemic, you know how we talk about how Amazon got rich and Walmart and all this. Ain't nobody talking about these plexiglass companies that made a killing.
Oh, making a ton of money, right? Who would have thought?
Necessary money
went way up. They were probably sitting there like, oh, nobody's going to use this plexiglass. And all of a sudden, oh my God, there's so many calls for plexiglass.
Yo, it was probably some dude sitting there looking at this plexiglass shop and was like, yo, so we probably gonna have to close up everything, y'all.
Yep.
It's been a fun 25 years. We've been families. We brought this down to generations. And then the phone calls came in, they was like, you are not gonna believe this. So all this gotta go.
We are sold out. What?
Everything gotta go. Like, so how have you been handling it overall? You know, again, you're in New York regularly, so and that's been going through a flux.
Yeah, I live in New York, so and it's, you know, now that we've been kind of trained to deal with this, it's like it's like all we're waiting at, people are watching CNN and the different news media channels to get their information. I try to stay away from it because it's a bunch of fear-based crap. And
I agree.
I don't know, the numbers go up here, numbers go down there. I think they use that to keep us in control and keep us in fear, which fear is what sells. Fear is what keeps people in church. You know what I mean? Come on. The fear of God's gonna, let me put that $100 in that basket every Sunday.
Yep.
I mean, fear makes money. I mean, let's keep it real. War.
The A100, like, yo, it's true. Fear is the revenue generator.
Fear keeps you in control. It's like parental fear kept you going to school, clean your room, do this, or you're going to suffer the consequences. So I'm just, New York is what it is. It's nobody's super panicking. We're just dealing with what we're dealing with. New York, and New York is a really resilient city anyway. Shoot, they blew up the towers. When I say they, I'm not pointing at anybody specific. But
like we both had to hit that.
They can be anybody. So, but yeah, I'm just, and then being able to travel now with the COVID rules. I mean, I'm on the airplane, nobody's sitting next to me. I actually like that. I actually like that.
Let me tell you something. I've been flying back home, I'm making sure I've been on Southwest because they've been like, nobody's in this middle seat.
Oh, like Delta. Shout out to Delta.
Delta doing the same thing. Yep. Delta like, nobody's in this middle seat.
Delta is not playing. It's like first class in every row.
You're like, I feel special.
I feel so special. You mean I could lay down and sleep in this whole aisle? No one's going to. It's beautiful. Yeah, I took the train. Yeah, the train I took to Washington, D.C., Amtrak, same way. Nobody's sitting next to you. Yeah.
So you said you've been back on the road. You mentioned earlier being at Chicago Improv. You're doing, I think, an outdoor show for D.C. What have the different venues been like that you've been to thus far since the reopening of some comedy clubs?
I haven't done an outdoor event yet, but actually I have. I have to say this, I'll announce it. I just did the second season of Tiffany Haddish's They Ready in LA. Yeah. Thank you. They Ready in LA. Oh, that was my alarm. Sorry. So we did it out in Long Beach at the famous theater that Richard Pryor performed at in 1979. The one where he goes, I'm in Long Beach. Well, we ain't coming to get you. Yeah, we did it outside because we couldn't go inside. So we did it outside and they set it up. First of all, outside and comedy should not be in the same sentence. Okay. Comedians, when we hear outside, we go, no, please no. Please no.
You like because laughs are going to go that way.
Not only that, Jay, there's nature. Nature might heckle you, I mean,
you got birds coming in,
a bird coming down. You got ambulance. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I was filming, a helicopter went above me and I had to do the joke over. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. But of course, in post, everything's going to be fine. But, as comedians, we need that. I need that immediate response. I need it now. I don't care how it's going to look later. I'm a comedian. I needed my ego stroked by my joke doing well right now. I need to kill in the room. That's why comedy is such a very delicate art form, very difficult art form. We don't care about post. I need my jokes to laugh. I need the laughs now. Like we're in a comedy club right now. I don't care what you do in post. And it's so funny because when I got on stage, we shot twice, 2 shows. People had masks on the table. It was weird. The first time you get on stage, they have masks on. So you're sitting there like, did this joke go over? Okay, their heads are moving, but I don't see their mouths. See, we need smiles. We need facial expression. But we did it. But Tiffany pulled it off. Shout out to Tiffany Haddish. There's Dean Edwards, Tony Woods, Aaron Jackson, Kimberly Clark, and the legendary Barbara Carlisle. So we're all 6 of us are on the new season.
Wow.
Tiffany Haddish, 3 girls, 3 guys. Tiffany Haddish literally just giving us shine. Tiffany Haddish just up to her angelic antics again. Shout out to Tiffany, the goddess. Yeah. Real talk. For Netflix.
You, like I said, when I introed you, I said you deserve your flowers, because there are many people who have said, why is he not on a bigger platform than what he is? And real quick, I want to go into that because your resume is extensive. Like, if anybody doesn't know who you are, you're like, oh, have you not watched almost anything? Because you're everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. And again, the special filming it from the crib, Regular Black. When that film from the crib, I was like, thank you for showing love to home.
Yes,
like,
sir.
You know,
Second City, man. You know what I'm saying? Second City. I was trying to show some love.
Oh, Dead It Up. I love Up Comedy Club, man. It was such a dope venue, man.
So great. Dope venue. It's a shame that they don't do more stand-up, which I don't know what they're but shout out to, what is it, AJ? What is it? I'm sorry, JP.
JB, she was there. I don't think she's not there anymore. JB was there.
JB built something really great that I don't know what happened.
Amazing.
But they made a mistake not from keeping stand-up over there. It was a big mistake. Big mistake. But anyway.
So we are at AfroComicCon. So I got to ask you this question. What do you feel is the correlation between comics and comedy as far as comic books?
Well, we have to understand, like, most boys and girls, we grew up on superheroes. I mean, before we even became comedians, Spider-Man was our hero. Spider-Man, the Hulk, Batman, DC Comics, Marvel Comics were what we wanted to be. You know, I mean, Spider-Man is still to this day my favorite superhero. You know what I mean? So yeah, just creativity. Stan Lee was one of my first heroes. Stan Lee. You know, I remember there's a time when Stan Lee, you didn't even see Stan Lee. He was only in the comic books. That he drew himself in the comic books. At the end of the comic book, it'll say, "This is Stan Lee, Excelsior." And I was like, "Is this guy real?" And then you saw him finally.
You're like, "Who is he?"
Yeah, he's a real dude. And so it's almost like being a stand-up comedian is like having a superpower. You know what I mean? It's literally when you're on stage, people can't do what you do. You know, you're literally saving the world psychologically, sort of like what we're doing now. You're saving the world. We're like the Avengers. We're these weirdo people with different powers, and we go on stage and we show our little talents. That's like our superpower. There's the Wolverine, there's the Beast, there's Cyclops, there's Boom, and we go out to save the world for temporarily, even though there's still more chaos, you know? And one of our villains sometimes our villains are insecurity, racism, sexism. You know what I mean? There's so many isms. Those are our villains, and we try to fight them.
We got to conclude hecklers.
Oh yeah, hecklers. Those are our villains, man. And we come and stop them. Oh yeah, I got fire. Oh yeah, I'll show you. And then sometimes we get chastised for using our powers, you know.
Man, don't we? Let me ask you this. So we're talking about comic book characters. Your thoughts on Black comic book characters and how they're reflective of our society, our current struggles and past struggles, and how we use them to be the platform to speak to a whole new generation.
Well, I've been stressing, and this is funny because we grew up with mainly white heroes. Everybody was white. The women, the men were all white. And I love all the heroes, you know. Superman, which is so funny because the story of Superman comes from the Egyptian story of Horus and all the other stuff. It's all Egyptian. It's all African stories. Yeah, the story of Heru. Heru is where hero comes from the word Heru, who was the sun god. So if you look up the story of Superman, El Khalil, all that comes exactly from the Egyptian story of Heru. And Aset is Supergirl. Aset is another Egyptian goddess. So they took all of that from African stories. You know, because the sun god, Superman got strength from the sun. He came down on Earth. Yeah, same thing. Same exact thing. That's where Heru comes from. Hero comes from Heru.
Like, I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Do you know some of these white nerds who have just been like, no, Superman is this, and they realize, like, yo, do some research and understand. They're gonna be like, oh my God, no, like they'll be crushed. because again, people understand the lore as far as they want to understand it, and so for
Yes.
you to go in depth like that speaks volumes. You can continue. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we would. No, it's all right. We need to, but it's for us to find out. Us as African Americans, as I want to say Pan African, whether it's Caribbean, African American, I'm Nigerian American, so we're all in the Black diaspora. We all need to know that kind of history because that gives us hope to say, oh, so we are actual superheroes. Actually, Black people, if you think about it, we literally are superheroes. Look at how fast we run. Look at how high we jump. Look at the shit we take from people. I mean, it takes a superhero to deal with the stuff that we go through. We get bombarded by everybody's hatred from every culture. We get smashed on. Even our own culture smashes on us, but we still are able to create out of that. Look at all of the American culture is pretty much Black if you think about it. Jazz, blues, reggae, rock and roll, rock, hip hop, everything is Black. Or if you know your history, it's originally Black.
Oh, yeah.
And so what does it come from? It comes from oppression, segregation, Jim Crow, slavery, rape, pillaging. And we were able to create this beautiful art form that everybody wants to steal and literally not give us the credit for, which is senile to me, which is ludicrous to me. And then where are our heroes? First of all, I give a shout out to, I guess, Stan Lee Leibowitz, who was a Romanian Jewish man in the Bronx, who had the wherewithal to create a Black Panther character, which was an African king in 1966. What? Then you had Falcon, you had Power Man, Luke Cage, who used to combine, him and Iron Fist. I used to have the Iron Fist Luke Cage comic books, and it was like we had few and far between. You had Blade. Thank God for Wesley Snipes to actually put Blade in the forefront. I had the pleasure of hanging out with Stan Lee 3 times. Okay, my friend, I don't know if she's around anymore. Her name was Yuka Kobayashi. She brought me when Stan Lee broke off from Marvel and did his POW Entertainment. He had his own little office with his partner Gilbert on Santa Monica. My friend took me over there, and I spent 3 hours with Stan Lee by myself. It was, listen, I can't make this up. I was trying to text my friends. They weren't around. And Stan Lee and I remember, I can do Stan Lee. Stan Lee goes, Godfrey, can I tell you something? I go, yeah. He goes, do you know that Wesley Snipes was the first? Blade was our first blockbuster Marvel movie. People have to know that. You have to tell people. I said, what? And he was in 1999. Blade set off the Marvel franchise. So Black people do sell. Wesley Snipes was so he needs to get his credit and get his flowers because he was incredible as Blade. He should still be Blade personally. But let
me tell you something real quick. Ahead. Wesley will always get his flowers from me. I had the honor and pleasure of working with Wesley on Chirac, the Spike Lee joint. Awesome. And so working side by side with him, it was not only just I was working with someone I'd idolized, I'd watched in film growing up and everything.
No doubt.
But then I got to talk to the man. I got to talk to the man that is Wesley, and his level of insight on the world is eye-opening.
Yeah.
He's eye-opening.
I've been around Wesley a few times, especially in New York when he was doing Blade. He actually, me and my buddies would see him, and he'd tell us like, "Oh, you guys got to see the next Blade. Wait till you see the openings." I mean, he literally talked to us about what was going to happen in the opening scenes in Blade. This is 99, 2000. I was around Wesley, and we studied like my master. When I studied about 10 years of Hapkido, my master studied under his master, Moses Powell. So we knew about martial arts. Also, our nutritional, we were into like alternative medicine. I know the same guy he knows. We were under that same guy's practitioner. So I related to Wesley in a lot of ways. And Wesley is a trained actor from Purchase. He's from the University of Purchase. He's a trained actor, not no fly-by-night cat. So yeah, so Wesley, but it took 20 years for us to get another Black superhero, which is like ridiculous. Like, so Black superheroes, there's so many great Black illustrators that I see on Instagram that are killing the game. Now, of course, you got the Static Shock and all, but there's another thing too, man, about whenever there's a new superhero show on Netflix and all that, I get a little disappointed. They go, well, why? You got this show. I go, not enough black people. I need to see more black people, not just one black person. And the rest, we deserve our superheroes. We deserve it. We deserve an all black superhero team. We deserve it, man. I mean, I'm just tired of seeing the one token, and then that one has crappy powers. Their powers are garbage. It's like, really? And he's handicapped or some weird shit like that. I go, stop. You know what I mean? We deserve all these.
Well, that's why I love Jamie Foxx's Project Power.
What'd you say?
That's why I love Jamie Foxx's Project Power.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that yet.
It was Jamie Foxx. It was based in New Orleans, but him, a black girl, they were the main leads and the main focuses. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt was there, but it was more so about them.
Okay.
And it was about them. So it was a good thing.
Right.
But yeah, so here's another thing I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
So Comic-Cons, I don't know how much you frequent them in person with your schedule, but how many have you like had a chance to just go to before all the crazy?
I've never been to a Comic-Con, dude. And because of the travel, because sometimes I'm not even. I've been around, like in Chicago, in New York, where the Comic-Con was at the Javits Center, but I wasn't able to go.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's San Diego, it's here, so it's a timing thing. So
makes sense.
This girl named Sundiata, this comic book nerd chick, she's the one that kind of hit me to this virtual AfroComicCon thing. It was her. It's this chick. She's like 22, 23 years old. And I was like, she was on my live and she was talking about AfroComicCon, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? What's that? AfroComicCon? Hell yeah. I was like, what? And so I had Haley, one of the creators of it, to send me t-shirts so I can rock it. I've rocked it on my podcasting, Godfrey We Trust, on the Gas Digital Network. So I'm like, AfroComicCon? What? It's like, I love that all these conventions are happening, like Afro tech stuff is happening. We deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. You know, the people that I know that know about the comic books the most, it were all the black dudes and the black girls. They knew all the comic books. They were the comic book nerds, the manga nerds. I've been, like you said, I've been nerdy myself for a long time. I collected comic books for a long time. Dude, I still know the Spider-Man theme song, dog. Come on, man. You want me to throw it for you? You want me to throw it down for you real quick?
Throw it out. Wait, throw it out. Let me do the Spidey thing. Throw it out real quick.
It's like this. That's the sound. I didn't. Yo, here we go. Ready? Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out. Here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing on a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward. To him, life is a great big hang up. Wherever there's a hang up, you'll find the Spider-Man. Bitch, what? It's not a game.
Yeah, well, you got me beat on nerdy.
It's not a game, Jay. Come on. You stopped. You didn't even know the rest of the lyrics. What? Come on, son. That last part was like, I told you, son.
I was. You saw my face. I was like, what is he? Wait, there's a third verse? I felt like the third verse.
Are you fake pausing?
No, I don't need you to embarrass me. I don't need you to embarrass me again.
You don't want me to embarrass you again, do you? Man, my shit's
I mean, because you hit the third verse like there's the extra verse and lift every voice to sing. Well, I'm like,
yeah, man, I got you. That's right, Spider-Man. That's 1966. That was the cartoon.
Yeah.
And then I used to watch the Marvel. Remember the Marvel one? It was Channel 44 in Chicago. It was the little Marvel stories. You remember? It was Tony Stark's makes you feel he's the coolest. Remember? as
I
Iron Man
remember it,
with
but I
Jeff.
don't remember the theme song.
He
Hey man,
fights
when
and
we
fights for. Hold on, let me sing that shit. He fights and fights with repulsor rays. Oh, that was when Captain America throws his mighty shield. All those who chose to oppose his shield must yield as he led his fight with the blue country. Yeah. Also, Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turns into the Hulk. Come on now. And Submariner too, Prince Namor. It was all of them. It was all of them. And then I used to watch Spider-Man and his friends and the Super Friends.
I remember that.
We grew up with all of that. Superheroes were part of our life, dude. Like, come on, man. And you want to talk about anime? Please, Speed Racer was the first anime.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
From Speed Racer and Prince Planet. Let's be real now. Exactly.
You know what? I just want to say at this moment, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, who are like, yo, I thought Jay was a super huge nerd. I am. However, Godfrey just made me sit there and go, well, let me just research all this stuff in the next 10 weeks.
You talk about Power Rangers. There was a guy called Ultraman and Spectreman.
Spectreman. Oh, bro, I was all about Spectreman, dog.
See, Ultraman came before Spectreman. Ultraman was like a spinoff of Spectreman was a spinoff of Ultraman.
Yep.
And then there was also, watch this, Space Giants. Okay.
Yeah.
Goldar, Silvar.
Goldar came from Space Giants. Yep.
Right. And then there was Giant Robot, Johnny Sacco and Giant Robot.
See,
so all of those were like, that's all where you saw the Power Rangers and all that type of style with the monsters all came from Godzilla, Mothra, Gamera. So I'm a serious nerd. We're serious nerds. We grew up with this crap, man.
Yeah.
It's real. So why can't we see our own faces in these cartoons? I'm tired of, listen, don't get me wrong. We look amazing in anime, by the way. I mean,
yes, we do.
The Boondocks showed you that. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
We look fantastic. Why are we still fighting to be on a god in fantasy? Why are we fight? Racism exists in fantasy. I thought fantasy was you're supposed to escape the reality. So it's saying our white brothers and sisters want to take their reality and put it in fantasy and make it difficult for us in fantasy, which is fucked up on all levels. I mean,
it is.
Why can't you not be racist in fantasy? It's not supposed to be real, right? So then why can't you suspend your hatred of us and your whatever you think of us and just let us be heroes in fantasy? I mean, we barely get any superheroes. Why? Did you run out of brown ink? The fuck's going on here? You know what I mean?
Let me transition
one more thing, Jay.
Go ahead.
Remember when when Miles Morales?
Oh, when people lost their mind?
All the white nerds showed their racism. I go, really? You're mad because Miles Morales, well, they made him a black Latino so they can kill two birds with one stone. They didn't want to have to make a Latino guy too, because that would be too much of diversity. So you mean to tell me you're mad because Miles Morales is a black dude? So these white nerds who have been, remember, you used to feel for white nerds because they used to get picked on by the white jocks. So, and I used to be friends with the white nerds because I understood what it's like to be ostracized, and to be different. But now the white nerds are running shit. Now they turn into the actual jocks that used to bully them. And then they show their true racism again, which is fucked up. And by the way, Spider-Verse won an Oscar when he turned black. Keep it moving.
I will say, as someone who, again, doing all the jobs, working in the nerd sphere, trying to get ahead and crack that egg and be like, yo, my resume speaks for itself. What I can do speak for itself. And then you're like, oh, y'all hired one black guy, one black girl, so you good, right?
Right.
That's your idea of diversity. I see that so much, and it's upsetting. You've done something here that I wanted to piggyback on, and it's you've been very vocal and outspoken and have not held your tongue about anything. And I've already respected you on so much before, but the fact how you've called things out for what it is, and like you said earlier, as a comedian, we can catch backlash for things we say, and you care less about that. What made you just say, yo, I'm just gonna tell y'all what it is, flat out?
I mean, here's the thing. I went to University of Illinois, Champaign, and we are from the most segregated city in the country. Still,
people will not admit it. People will not admit it.
We are the most segregated city in the country. Martin Luther King said that I had the worst time in my life was in Chicago.
Yep.
Okay. And Chicago's a great city that was discovered by a black dude, which is hilarious.
People act like they casually forget.
Jean-Baptiste Point du
Du Sable. Yep, Du Sable.
Okay. A black Frenchman discovered Chicago and sold it away like a crackhead. You know, for I don't know. But when I went to University of Illinois, 45,000 students, 800 black when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a part of a black studies group and an African American studies group, and we got real like into our history because of the pressure of being the only black people on campus. You made you want to read about black this, black that, black this, black that. So I was always used to, at 18 years old, talking like this. It wasn't uncomfortable for me. I was, because that language for me is easy. I can deliver it to my white friends or my Asian friends without them getting offended. They understand because I'm so used to being versed in this kind of thing. It's like James Baldwin, fantastic at it. He was so eloquent the way he talked about the same thing. And look at Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali kept it black as hell, but he was so charming with it. He was charming in the way he did it. So it's all about the way you do it. It's not like I'm talking about something new. I would love it. Look, don't get me wrong. I would love it if what I talked about was old. I'm waiting for the day I talk about race and white people go, oh, you know, we don't do that anymore. But unfortunately, they do. So and if anybody takes this as in, I don't want anybody that's African American to literally go, well, not all white people. That means you should not be talking. You should not be listening to this interview if you're that stupid. So I you know what I mean? I have white friends too. I have more white friends than my white friends. So let's cut it out. So you know what I mean by that. So it's a shame that I can listen to James Baldwin in 1963 and it's the same shit going on in 2020. Why are we struggling to get black superheroes? Why? Black women should have the most superheroes because they take shit from goddamn everybody. Jesus
and they're
Christ.
more resilient than black men are. They are, you know, again, that Malcolm X quote has been recirculating. The most unprotected person in the world is the black woman. It's been recirculated. But it's like, why should it have to recirculate when we know, unfortunately, it happens? And again, black women as superheroes, they don't need capes and costumes. They don't need abilities because they already possess innate abilities that allow them to go through life.
Well, they create, they have the Eve gene. They create every race. So that's already a superhero, genetic superhero power. That is scientifically true.
Yes, it is.
We come from them. How come there's no black superheroes? Do we have to wait for a George Floyd situation for Batwoman to be black? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, now we have one. We do. If you haven't heard.
No. Batwoman is black because of the racial situation.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
Not because they wanted to give it to her. They were like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take Aunt Jemima off the syrup. Okay, we're gonna take Uncle Ben off that. Who asked for that, by the way? I always was like, the things that black people have asked for, like, can we get the police accountability? All these different things. It's like, well, we're gonna make a black bachelorette, a black Batwoman. Yeah, they made they did a lot of Band-Aid type shit. Like, really, it took you 20 years to make a black bachelor, right? White dudes are the only ones that get a lot of chicks. I'm sorry to say this, but we get more chicks than white guys. And that's real talk. And by the way, we get more chicks under duress because most of the times we are forbidden to be dealt with and we still get them. And you know how much game you got to have when a girl's dad says stay away from them and you still get the ass? And you still pull them? I didn't mean to bring that up at AfroComicCon. My bad.
I mean,
but black dudes, we have superpowers.
But look, what you're about to have is a bunch of sisters like, see, I knew it. When they get on, they just go for white women. Like, no, that's not what he's saying.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm first of all, I'm always pro black women. There should be more super blacks. First of all, black women don't walk in the streets scared like white women. I walk behind white women or Asian women. They think everybody is following them. They don't realize that if you live in a big city, sometimes people live in the same direction you do. So that's why I hate when I'm walking behind a white woman. I gotta cough and make noises so that she'll know I'm behind her, you know. But she doesn't understand. You know, I live on this block too, and you're in my way. Black women just walk. They just walk. They're never afraid of anything. White women and Asian women, everybody else. How are they the superheroes?
Check this out. So when everything was open, I was working as a bouncer at a couple of nightclubs. And I got to walk around, survey the floor and whatnot. And I am in my all black with a red tie, earpiece in and everything.
Yeah.
Happen to be standing somewhere, and behind a white woman, this is proven, she will turn around and go, huh. I'm like, oh, I'm at work.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you.
Yeah. It's really insulting. Enough of that shit. Enough.
It's very insulting.
Because it's almost like they're purposely insulting you by doing that. They go, oh, I go, you want me to shove you out of the elevator? I mean, miss, stop. It gets annoying. It's annoying.
Yes, it does.
It's annoying. It's
or
like
the response that comes, I'm so sorry, I'm not really racist. If you felt you needed to preface that, yes, you are.
Right, exactly. So I think that more black women there should be more black girl superheroes. That would be cool, because especially with all the different hairstyles they have, imagine drawing that in cartoon. It's so amazing. But I've seen some illustrators. There's so many different characters and heroes.
And that's what I was going to bring up. There's so many. There's so many. You're absolutely right. And those illustrators aren't given the opportunity to go to these major platforms to be showcased, because unfortunately, which we should do, is look at the indie creators. Like, indie creators are making some of the better stuff, better than the big name comics out there. Yeah. And we don't focus on it. And that's one of the things I love about Comic-Cons as well, because it gives these independent creators, those who have talent, those who have yet to achieve this stardom and recognition, the props that they deserve, because they can put their work out and say, hey, this is what it is. And somebody may see it and be like, yo, why have I not heard of this person? Why have I not heard of that? And it's like, well, because A, I'm black more than likely, and B, they're not giving me this platform. Yeah. And so, we definitely need to be able to put more black creators who create incredible black female superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the white superheroes at all. I love them all. And I don't need you to make a black Hulk. We just make our own heroes.
I'm glad you touched on that.
We don't have to do a black. We don't have to do a black change them to the white ones to black. I think it's bullshit. Keep them white. Keep them like that. Let us create our new. Black people are so creative. We're so scarily creative, because a lot of these, I believe this, and this is just my opinion, a lot of white illustrators are trying to steal from the black dudes. They're going to do that. They've done that. That is a norm for them to steal our stories. Superman was stolen from Egypt. It was an Egyptian story. Let's be real here. So a lot of stories are taken from black, the X-Men. It's about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Oh my God. I can't tell you the amount of arguments I've gotten in with white nerds on Twitter who will be like, keep race and politics out of my comic books. And I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, do you even know what the inspirations for the X-Men were? And then you tell them and they're like, oh, no, that's not what he meant. And then you have to show them a quote of Stan Lee's exact words telling you this is what it's based upon.
Yeah, Stan Lee was a very, very fair man. He was about equality. And I'm telling you, that guy, a Romanian Jewish cat, poor family in the Bronx. That dude knew what time it was. That's why I love Stan Lee. He was a great man, very humble man too. And he said, Godfrey, I don't believe in racism. I believe that we should all treat each other equally. That's how I feel. You damn right I got Stan Lee. You're damn right.
Because I met Stan backstage at LA Comic-Con one year. I got to go backstage.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to sign autographs and do everything. And they were like, Stan, you got to go eat. You got to take a break.
Yeah.
And Stan was like, I got to talk to the people.
Yeah, he was wonderful, man. I'm so happy I had the honor. He signed a couple books for me. I still got it. Still looking for the picture I took of him. But like you said, when a white nerd goes, keep race out of it, that's already racism. It's already racist. It's already racist, the fact that you pretending to not understand where the fuck we're coming from. So you're already racist. They kill me when they say, why does it always have to be about race? That is itself racist, because you're being guilty, because it's all about race.
It's all about race, and you're trying to ignore it. You're trying to ignore it.
Race, then if it's why is it always about race? Then make more black superheroes and quit bitching when you see a black hero, asshole.
Oh, the level of, because we can literally, since we're gonna do this,
I want to get in a fight with some nerds.
Hey, bro,
I will whoop you, and I know you will. I will whoop some of these nerds, man. I will beat their ass. Okay, I have a chance to beat them at least.
Watch this. Here's the South Side of Chicago, Jay Washington. I've told some of these cats, yo, I'm real easy to find. You can catch me in these streets. Say the same thing. I'm real easy to find. I'm not a hard dude to find. They be like, oh, you just want to, like, no. Keep running your mouth and run your mouth in front of me. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy in my face. See me in these streets. And then they'll go, oh, you just a pro wrestler. I said, no. Nah.
Okay, don't
say this 79th to Winchester right here, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with my wrestling training. I say this 79th to Winchester. Holla at me. And you know it's real when you clapping with it too, like holla at me in these streets.
You know what I'm saying? Word up. These I can't stand it. It's like the black nerds need their respect.
Yes.
You know? And they're fantastic and they deserve all the accolades, and we should create our own universes. Why can't we I don't mind having a segregated universe. Why can't we do that? If you're going to be racist, why can't we have the black side of the superhero shit?
Oh, because here's their answer. Well, doesn't it defeat the purpose of trying to say you want opportunities for everybody if you exclude white people? Like, no.
No.
Don't pull that. Pull that.
No, we don't need. You guys have a whole. I've read comic books with none of us in it. No black people in it at all. I've even seen you have comic books where the only thing black is an extra in your comic book. You're right. There'll be a black person in the background. Like a black person just walking down the street. They actually have the nerve to go, I'm gonna put a black person in the background to show diversity.
Just be like, he's here.
Take this.
He does nothing, but
stick it up your ass. You can stick it up your ass. Like,
listen, man, we can go on and on.
Day,
I'm gonna ask you one important question. I know it's gonna be hard for you to pick this.
Okay.
You have like I said, you have a legendary career thus far. Movies, again, legendary in Soul Plane. For some reason, I found myself just watching it again last night because I love it. I'm getting mine. Not like too much. You know, Comedy Central specials consistently on that. JFL, just it's illustrious. What would you say would have to be one or two of the highlights of your career that will always stand out to you?
7-Up commercials were fun. I
was gonna bring it up, but I didn't know if you.
Oh no, don't. You can bring it up. I accomplished that.
Yes.
Listen, my thing is this: it kills me when people get mad that you bring something up. Well, then why did you accept the job?
That's true.
I was so happy to get that. I was in Spain when I got the call to audition. I was in Spain on a nude beach with a bunch of girls. Yeah, I ain't lying. I did some comedy in Amsterdam, took a train to Barcelona to meet with this chick that I was messing with. And I was with her friends, and they took all their clothes off on a nude beach. It was fantastic. And I had a little cell phone, a little European cell phone. They said, "Hey man, they need you to come back, cut your trip short." And for this, it's a short list of people. It's a producer session for this cola. I said, shoot, let me go do this. And I went and I got the job, and 7-Up was fantastic. Because I always wanted to be, because we grew up on commercials.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper and cereals and honeycomb. I always wanted to be in a commercial. And one of my first commercials was McDonald's out of Chicago, which was great.
I did a McDonald's one too.
I did a McDonald's. We're part of American culture. We grew up on this shit. It's a pride thing.
Yeah.
And then I did 7-Up to be a spokesperson. It's so difficult to get a job like that.
Yes, it is.
And to be part of American culture forever, man, that was the shit. I had fun filming it. I had a good time, made money. It was great. And my next one was, let's see, a highlight. I think it was doing a special on Comedy Central, first time doing a special. That was awesome. Doing a comedy special
because you've hit that peak as comics, as comedians, we want to reach. You reached that point.
When Comedy Central was actually funny. It was like,
sir, this is another conversation.
Oh, my bad. Oops.
You see my face? I'm like, look, we can have that discussion.
There was a lady that worked there, Lauren. She was so great. She got it. She understood comedy. She liked when you were funny. We used to do this thing called Comics Come Home, and it was just dope. Dennis Leary, it was dope. You know, I'm not putting down Comedy Central, but I just don't watch it like I used to.
The format is completely changed. I mean, there's nothing wrong saying that. The format is completely changed.
It's just completely changed. I don't really like it. It's not. They're tiptoeing around issues. No one's being funny anymore, and they think that these comedians that don't talk about real stuff are problems, and then that just leaves you with nobody funny. So, because if you look at the legends that we praise, they had edge. They talked about stuff. I'm not saying you got to be edgy and talk about race. No, funny is funny. I mean, you got Sinbad, Bill Cosby, who's pretty much didn't talk about hard-edged stuff, and they were funny. So Brian Regan, one of my favorite comedians, white dude, Brian Regan, he's clean as hell.
Clean comic,
he's one of the funniest human beings on the planet.
He's a monster.
He's one of my favorites, Brian Regan. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about funny. And so doing a special on Comedy Central was a big highlight for me because Comedy Central was the shit, and I believe they can get back to being the shit again. I don't think there is. I mean, it's not a bad thing to say, hey man, I don't think you're that funny. You know? Oh well.
Hey man, you know we're in this day and age where if you tell somebody, look, you're not funny, they be like, why are you trying to crush my dreams? Like, no, I'm just being real.
But I'm not even talking about a specific show. I just said they're not funny. I didn't specific.
I know. I'm just saying in general when you talk about.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you're a hater automatically,
yeah,
and
it's like a quality of food that you eat, and they started to lose. It's not doesn't taste as good as it used to.
Right.
So like the ingredients changed hands. The chefs changed.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And that's nothing wrong with going, man, this don't taste the same. I'm not putting you down. It just doesn't taste the way I used to like it. That's all. And comedy needs to get back. Like Bill Burr just showed you on SNL. Like, now that's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Burr is I've always respected Burr. Whenever I get a chance, when things were open, I'm like, yo, if he gonna be at the store, I'm gonna try to figure out how to see him at the store. If he at the Improv, you know, I'm watching Burr.
Burr kind of like kicked open the bullshit finally.
Yes.
Said, let's oh goodness. You know, it felt like comedy had COVID over there. You know, and Bill Burr took off the mask and said, breathe a little bit. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Look, for everybody watching, make sure you check out his podcast, In Godfrey We Trust. Tuesdays and Fridays is 9-ish.
9:30 p.m. Gas Digital Network, subscribe with promo code Godfrey, get 2 weeks for free, and follow me on Instagram, Comedian Godfrey. And it's so I feel so honored to be part of the AfroComicCon. I hope that they can get more money and this becomes so big. It should be huge. It should be huge. But if people just get over their hatred of us and their fear of us, then we can get money and then it can be awesome.
Because what would happen if AfroComicCon it reveled what was San Diego? What are you talking? What's the point? Let it go. Let's have it.
We can have it in Atlanta. We'll just be in Atlanta. Shut up. We'll just do it in Atlanta. Leave us alone.
Which is the black capital of America.
We'll do it in Chicago, Atlanta, or we don't need San Diego. We go somewhere else. We can do how about AfroComicCon Ghana? Come on.
Let's go. Listen.
Keep it moving. Come on, let's keep it moving. We're dope.
Jesse Williams said it. We are magic. Listen.
Yes,
I am so grateful for you, bro. Like I said, I wanted to make sure before I started this, I gave you your flowers. And I say this to somebody who's hung with you, somebody who has watched your career before I even got the game. You are deserving of all of the success that you had and all of it's coming up. You are worthy of that, bro. Please make sure y'all follow him. He told him on his Instagram, his Instagram lives be lit. Just check it out.
Yeah, we got to talk more, Jay. We got to talk more. You know,
we got to
talk more. We should be talking more.
Look,
Chicago,
always
you know what I mean?
For me, y'all can find me Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. Thank you again to AfroComicCon for hosting this virtual 2020 event. And again, please consider donating to the AFCC Moonshot Junior program that funds young girls of color to go through a 12-month program where they will learn tech skills, innovation, product development, and entrepreneurship. Please click on the donation link below. Any amount will help. And more information is available on the AfroComicCon website.
So,
make sure you guys stay tuned to everything else.
Jay, on my lives, how do I to donate? I would love to, like, if you, well, you know, just you have my information, right?
No, I don't have it all.
Well, send me email.
I'll send you an email. I'll tell you exactly.
So yeah, because I would love to talk about it on my lives and donate. You know, that's important.
I'll send you an email after this. But look, make sure y'all check out more AfroComicCon. We'll holler at you later. Don't go nowhere. I'm out. Bye.